Greetings and welcome to the family. Greetings and welcome to the family. This is Three Docs and a Mic, and I am Dr. Riaja, and I am here with my two lovely sisters. I will allow them to introduce themselves.
Greetings all, I'm Dr. Komoia.
Hi, I'm Dr. Saphronia.
All right, let's head to Kumasi and talk a little bit about that, and if there were any historical sites on your way there, please speak on those as well.
Wow. So Kumasi was interesting because that's where the Ashanti king lives. So that was pretty cool to know that he was in that place, that region, that area that's there. We went to, I want to say it's the Ashanti Palace, but the history there was very interesting. And we were walking through the museum there because it was his actual house, one of the king's houses. And they had Madame Tussaud did wax figures of the kings and the queen mothers, and that was sitting there. So it was like these people really looking at you. So it was really it was really cool, but it was really freaky. But so the guide took us through and told us the history of it. We watched a short video on the Ashanti Nation, and then he explained the difference between being Ashanti and Ashanti. And Ashanti is a tribe in the Ashanti Kingdom, and the Ashanti Kingdom spans far beyond the walls of Ghana. So that was really interesting to know how vast and how large the Ashanti Kingdom was, and still is, because they still operate under that kingdom system as well. So that was pretty cool to see that, and to walk through the house and to see the refrigerator that still works in the house, and the television set. I don't believe the television set worked, but it was just interesting to see that and really go through the history of the Ashanti people, and learn a lot of stuff from them.
Yeah, I would recommend we will look the actual name up and add it into the description. But I definitely recommend folks to go and tour that space. There were no pictures allowed inside, but we do have pictures of outside, so we can definitely share those. But I recommend that folks just go and just learn the history of how that place came to be, and also the regions in the Ashanti regions that incorporate the Ashanti people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it was interesting because the peacocks walk freely there, and we didn't get a chance to see one of them, display their colors, but they were just walking through, and that rubber tree was amazing. People that were there were telling us stories when they were kids. They used to race up the rubber tree and then come down, and then one of them told a story when he went to grab the rubber tree branch, it was actually a snake. So so that sort of made me move away from the rubber tree. Right?
That's scary.
Yeah. But a lot of the symbols that are there, they gave us the meaning of those symbols. And now when we see there's certain symbols, it means more. And a lot of them, I can't remember, but I know one was like the Queen's throne, the Chief Mother's throne, and it's very matriarchal, the kingdom. So it goes through the female. And the lineage is only, the ruler is only by the female. The kings have to come from the female's line and stuff like that. And the chief mother, she selects the next king. So that's pretty cool.
And vice versa. So if the If there is no current queen, then the current king has to select a queen, but the queen has to, the king and the queen has to come, like Saphronia said, through the queen's bloodline. So and the king and queen can never be husband and wife. It has to be, they can be cousins, they can be siblings, they can be mother and son, father and daughter, but they can never be spouses.
And unfortunately, we didn't have the opportunity to meet with the king because the queen mother just passed before we got there.
She was 97, I
I think
believe.
she was 97 years old, I think.
Yeah.
And that was his older sister.
Were there any other historical sites there or along the way?
We were still in the Ashanti region in Kumasi area. We went to the bone wire Kente weaving village. So that was exciting just to go there. You know, when we all of us went to Berkeley High School and we had our Black graduation, we all got the Kente cloths to wear on our, stoles there. And it meant a lot to us, but we didn't know exactly how much it meant to our ancestral lineage. To go through and see them, and they explain that they weave everything by hand. And it's no big machine. They only use a machine when they're sewing the different pieces of Kente together. That's the only when they bond that to make a larger piece of cloth. But every one of them, and they're probably about four inches thick, every strip. And then they have very intricate designs that they can put in there. So that was really cool to learn how they do that process as well. So they have a simple design, which is just a straight pattern. Then they have a 2 design, 3 design, and it goes up from there. So it's pretty cool.
And is that where you got your Kente cloths, or was that at a different location?
Yeah, that's where we received ours that has our Ghanaian names on them. And your Ghanaian name starts with the day that you were born, and then something that represents you. And so prior to coming on this trip, we had to think of characteristics that we submitted to the Ashanti people. And based on those characteristics, they came up with our Ghanaian name. And so my Ghanaian name, hope I'm pronouncing this correctly, is Ya Ariarko. And that means the one who helps others without reward.
And my Ghanaian name, because I was born on a Thursday as well, so both of us, our name is Ya. And then mine is Achipong. That means the one who gave birth to the king.
Wow. That's a deep meaning for both of you. Is there any final words on that before we move on to Cape Coast?
I would say that the weaving village was very interesting, and the entire naming ceremony was really interesting. And I see a lot of the traditions that have carried on through the African diaspora were represented, and we can see where those things come from, kind of thing. It was very interesting how they welcomed us in. And it was sort of like you were in a New Orleans second line, so it was just really good to see that. And then when the head chief came there with the umbrellas, and they were making sure he was shaded, and the chief mother, she was there and she was dancing, so just to welcome us in. So it was really good. And it was all celebratory. So it was just a lot of excitement, a lot of energy, and then it's still that welcoming spirit that you can feel, and that now they have adopted us into the Ashanti Nation, and welcomed us back into our Ashanti Nation heritage by giving us our names. So it was really nice to do that. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned to the next episode as we continue our conversation on our reflections of our trip to Ghana.
Thank you for being with us. We're sending you love, light, and positive energy. And remember to persist